That's what I was trying to take care of right there. There's the desoldering braid again. Got some solder in there that is being stubborn. That looks better. You're wondering what does soldering braid actually do? Kind of acts like a sponge for solder. It's basically what's the word I'm thinking of? Braided wire made of copper, and usually copper. This is some copper I got here. And basically it works really good for just picking the solder up when it's hot. There we go. Just had to kind of punch it through a little bit. So we got that to go through. Let's pour it out. I want to go grab a eraser, get this crap off. Yeah, usually you'd want to have all your tools right there in front of you, but sometimes you forget a couple. Or you're like me and you have little to no space to work on anything. So you end up doing what I'm doing. So, like I was saying earlier, you got this gunk. It's usually on these Sheen made ones, which I've noticed has been showing up in the last couple of years. Probably last year, really. It's gotten really bad. Or it's got this residue on it you just cannot get off. You can try burning it off if you dare. Using rubbing alcohol on it. Try that. Doesn't even phase the stuff. It doesn't melt it, doesn't deteriorate it, doesn't make it weaker, nothing. So that's what I was scared of right there. This one pad is just bad completely. Came off. Shit. Looks like part of it's still there. Oh boy. And what happens with these pads is if you get it too hot, with either a soldering iron or through, you know, a lightning strike, something like that, high voltage, it'll basically separate the pad from the board. And it looks like that's what's happened to this guy. And I definitely didn't have too much heat on that one pad there, because that's the one I had to do the least stuff to. Like, put it on there, came off. The one I would expect it to happen to is perfectly fine. Trying to get the rest of this residue off. Does not want to go away. But yeah, that residue, I don't know where it's been coming from or whatever, but it's not flux, or at least it doesn't look like flux to me. It doesn't act like flux. Flux is designed to have solder flow to it. It's to help you solder. This stuff is to basically keep solder away. And that's no good when you're trying to solder. Because then you can't solder it on. Solder goes away from it, and then you get really ticked off and spend an extra hour trying to solder something on. So check backside out. That pad is there. So I'm going to have to solder onto that side of the pad. Because this one is just gone. I'm going to assume that was also part of the jack's fault. It looks like I got most of that crap. Now for the fun part. There's a little bit there. Let's solder on both sides to be safe. On this one, because the pads are in just horrible shape. Horrible. So let's put away my junk solder. This is the solder I use for basically desoldering. And use the real deal Kester.